What's going on, folks? Eddie Carrington, mayor of Flux City, and this week was pretty busy. Earlier this week, I had an opportunity to take part in the official launch of SNF, the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, and they're at 3.0 with regard to this fund that focuses on roughly 10 neighborhoods in the city of Detroit, and their goal is to really put funding where activity is happening most, outside of the 7.2 miles that make up downtown and midtown Detroit. And they raise capital from philanthropy and corporate donors, and they use this money to allow for developers such as myself to redevelop mixed-use facilities in strategically identified neighborhoods across the city of Detroit. And I was a recipient of some of the dollars back in 2023 when we closed on our construction loan on the project that we're working on over in East English Village. But now, once again, they are pretty much out of that 2.0 dollar, and they are in the process of raising more money for their 3.0 fund. And I think their goal is to raise closer to $40 million, and they're at about 23 million of that. But these types of opportunities and funds are huge for developers in the city of Detroit, because it gives us an opportunity to redevelop sites that wouldn't necessarily have a chance in hell to be able to get redeveloped, due to the fact that there is so much gap funding needed in order to bring these sites to a point where they're active or activated and redeveloped, that it really wouldn't happen without these types of dollars. Whether we're talking about the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, the tax abatements, other programs that MEDC and MISHDA have in place, these gap funding mechanisms allow for us to do these types of developments that we're aiming to do within the communities that we develop within. And without funding such as the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, it would be impossible. But with that said, that's also why the city of Detroit is probably one of the best places to develop within when you are a minority developer, because a lot of these programs and funding mechanisms are designed to go to emerging developers such as myself, that in turn gives us an opportunity to really have our opportunity to expand our portfolio as well, right? On top of beautifying the communities and rebuilding the neighborhoods that we're building within, we're also able to gain ownership in properties that hopefully give us an opportunity to have a shot at generational wealth. And so that is why I'm really excited about this next round of funding, as they basically are in the process of continuing to take feedback from us developers on how they can make these funds even better from the previous two rounds of SNF. But that was really good to be able to actually speak on my project at the event, and also be able to celebrate with Invest Detroit, with the city of Detroit. The mayor of Detroit was there. City Council Benson from District 3 was there. A number of other funding partners were there, and friends that I was able to catch up with. And at the end of the day, this is only the beginning. I really do see an opportunity for development that happens within the communities continue to expand out, not only within those 10 neighborhoods that they've already identified, but maybe even more. There are a number of neighborhoods throughout the city that really look like they're starting to gain activity and more residents, more commercial activity across their corridors. And so I'm really hoping that Invest Detroit and the city of Detroit kind of expand their strategic neighborhood initiative beyond the 10 neighborhoods that they've already identified.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eddie Carrington, founder, lead developer, and self-proclaimed mayor of Flux City. And I am proud to talk about the positive impact the Strategic Neighborhood Fund has had on my success in taking on larger real estate projects and its overall support for emerging developers such as myself. For those who don't know me, I started rehabbing single-family homes in and around Detroit back in 2008. And over time, I developed an appetite for larger projects and recently had a chance to develop my first commercial project over in East English Village. In February 2020, Invest Detroit, as part of the S&F initiative, sought developers to rehabilitate the old Charter 1 bank at 16530 East Warren Avenue. The focus was on diverse developers working transparently with the community. And so I submitted our proposal and presented our vision to representatives from the Morningside, East English Village, and Cornerstone communities. When I say representatives, I'm talking neighbors, block club leaders, association leaders, things of that nature. So true community. When the ribbon was chosen as the top project, it felt like a dream come to life, a testament to what an inspired developer can achieve with the right support. The ribbon is a 3-story mixed-use building with a yoga studio and restaurant space on the ground level and 18 affordable residential apartments above. All 18 apartments are reserved for renters within the 80% AMI range or below, and construction is set to be completed by the end of this month. Now, here's the reality. The ribbon would not have happened without the support of the Strategic Neighborhood Fund. The total investment for my project is at about $8.2 million, with S&F funding playing a crucial role in making this project possible. Gap funding was needed to get this project to the closing table, since most commercial projects within the neighborhoods aren't financially feasible without some type of additional financial support. The funding was not just an investment in the building, it was an investment in the community and in an emerging developer such as myself. S&F provided us with the financial foundation to take on this project, especially during the challenges of the pandemic. And without this support, projects like the ribbon simply would not be a reality. But S&F's support wasn't just financial. It came with a team of partners, including funding partners like Invest Detroit, LIST, partners like DEGC, city representation like the mayor of Detroit, Mayor Duggan, like council members, shout out to Councilwoman Johnson of District 4, East Warren Development Corporation, and more. All of these partners were committed to the project's success, and their invaluable guidance and patience were essential in helping me make a true impact in the community, especially as a developer who has never developed a commercial project up until this point. By supporting minority and emerging developers, S&F opens doors for developers connected to the neighborhoods they serve. It empowers us to create a true impact that aligns with the needs of the residents. The ribbon isn't just another construction project, it's a testament to what's possible when community-driven development meets strategic investment. S&F funding helps transform a vacant building into a vibrant mixed-use space, bringing new retail options and enhancing the daily lives of the residents based off of their requests. Specifically, we're adding a movement studio on the ground level, one of the requests from the community, and we also have restaurant space allocated for a food service, another demand from the community that we're looking and actively filling per their ask. Today we celebrate the launch of S&F 3.0, and it is clear how vital the program is for Detroit's future. The ribbon shows what S&F 3.0 can achieve, This new wave of funding will spread improvement projects throughout the city. It will continue to provide emerging developers like myself with the resources to bring the visions of the communities we build within to life. So to the partners, stakeholders, and funders of SNF, I extend my deepest gratitude. Your belief in projects like mine and your commitment to Detroit's neighborhoods create pathways for lasting change. And to my fellow developers, especially those just starting out, I say with programs like SNF, we have the opportunity to truly rebuild a Detroit that serves everybody. Thank you.
And we also had Elise stop by the site to talk about the door system that we have installed called Latch. And Latch is a pretty interesting system that pretty much allows the tenants to give access to the door of the facility that we have it installed at via their phone. So they're able to buzz them in. They can send a passcode that maybe expires in a day or two. The system's pretty nice and pretty affordable too. It's $5 a door, and the system is pretty fancy overall. So check it out, as well as the camera system that Elise has set up for us that in turn gives us the ability to monitor the site in a format that I requested.
Your Latch link is basically just giving you this QR code. So this QR code is actually, from here you actually have to print your QR code stickers, which I've already done.
Okay.
So it prints out like this, and these are actually what attach to the plaque.
Okay.
That are going to go on the outside of the building.
Got it.
Each door is specific. They have their own QR code.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is these are on the outside of the building. If a guest comes up, they can scan this QR code. It takes them to a link. They can select the unit number,
Mm-hmm.
and that calls the resident of the unit.
Okay.
And they can allow access that way, kind of like an intercom.
Okay.
Like, instead of the old school intercom hitting the button, you're doing it through a QR code now.
Got it. And they don't have to come downstairs and open the door.
Nope,
They can just.
They can unlock it directly from their phone.
Okay.
So there's two ways to do it. There's a way that's going to work through the Latch app that basically even if your app is closed, the resident will get a notification on the top of their phone that the app is ringing and they can answer it. And from there's a button on the bottom left that says send door code. And it'll send a code to the person standing downstairs, and they just put the code in. It's a 7-digit code, and it
Okay.
unlocks.
So there is a keypad over there. I didn't see the
Yeah,
keypad.
so it's all in one.
Okay.
So the whole unit it's got a circular keypad on it, and it's got a camera in the middle too.
Yep. Got it. Okay.
So the next tab is keys, which I'll go into a different section and show it to you. But this is basically they're called keys, but it's nothing like a physical key of that sort. We're gonna consider it more like a group. So I've set the doors into two groups. I've set one group that has both doors for residents, because when you select a resident, you're going to want them to have access to both doors since there's both stairwells.
Okay.
And then there's another two groups that are just single doors.
Okay.
So you got one group with both doors, and then you got a group with a single door and a group with a single door. And that would be useful if you have maybe maintenance or something here,
Yep.
and they don't need to go to the second floor, and you can just give them access to the one group that has the south entrance.
Got it.
Or if somebody's specifically working on the second floor, you could just give them one group for the north, or one door, just the north stairwell.
Got it. Okay.
Now, we'll get into it in a minute, but there's something really cool where when you saw the drop-down list that said it had two options when you add a person, it had Latch app and door code. The door code's pretty convenient because that's good for like maintenance or vendors or something where you can have it set to expire.
Okay.
So they get a temporary door code that's good for as long as you want it to be good. It could be a day, it could be 2 days, that type of thing.
Now, yeah.
What if somebody
we'll check it
doesn't
out.
have a smartphone?
Okay.
They can, well, that's interesting. You can give them a door code. You can give them just a specific door code.
So I can
That
create
is
a door
gonna
code.
remain good.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good idea too.
So, let's see here.
And then that's probably easy. We can always change that pretty much on the fly if we need
You
to.
can cancel their door code,
Yep.
you can deactivate it, you
Okay.
can set an expiration date.
Got
on
it.
anything.
Okay. One thing I haven't figured out is what this is going to cost me.
It's $5 a month per door.
Okay, not bad.
$10 a month.
All right, you can't beat that.
Now it does change if you want physical keys, like if you, which is another thing. If somebody doesn't have a smartphone, maybe a physical key would be better.
Okay.
I'm sorry, maybe key isn't the right word. It would be more like a badge.
A fob or something.
So in those, you only can get them in sets of 20, and they're a little pricey. But if you just need to have 20 on hand for one-time payment, you might not go through them.
Got it.
Very quickly.
Okay.
So it gives information about Android, iPhone, all that stuff. You can use your watch to unlock it. Androids have an NFC thing where you don't even have to take your phone out of your pocket to unlock it. That kind of thing. So it's got all the information. It tells you how to invite guests. You can send, like, say you have a friend coming over, you can give them a code. They don't have to use the QR code when they get here. They could just already have a code when they arrive. Or you can give them app access. They get a temporary access code to the app. All that good stuff. So this would be useful for residents to have. The next tab, before I go to people, I'll just show you the next tab is activity. So this is just going to show you the person that entered. It's going to show us a screenshot of them. So we were testing yesterday. So if I click on this, that's just my partner standing there. We were just testing the doors and whatnot. So it'll show you a clip of the person, just a screenshot. It doesn't have video unless you integrate the actual intercom, which is a little bit pricier a month. But you at least still get a clip from the camera. Okay. It'll tell you the name, the entrance, and then the access time.
Nice.
And it'll say whether they use the app or a door code.
Okay, good.
Within the Latch app, the residents have the ability to select how they want their intercom calls to come through. They can come through the app or they can come through their cellular number. If it's preferred to come through the app.
Okay.
But if they come through their cellular number and they select that and their phone number's not in, then they won't get that call.
Got it.
So that's pretty important. And then you can add a key here, which is the physical key that I was talking about.
Okay.
So this would be good for a resident that maybe doesn't have a smartphone, or maybe they don't use apps on their smartphone.
But now we're talking minimum order of 20 at that point.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You can also add an expiration date here. So if you wanted to put like a move out date so that you verify they won't have access after their lease is up, you can add an expiration date. On the top left, and you go My Door Codes, and you hit tap to reveal. It's going to give you this code. That's the code that does not change. That's your door code. So this is useful if somebody.
I'm going to use this every time I come here to do a show.
Not necessarily. You probably could use your phone to unlock it in a different way. We'd call this a backup pretty much. This is something you probably want to have either memorized, like in case your phone dies or something, or maybe written down somewhere that you can have access to, like maybe in your car in case your phone dies, you lose your phone, but you still want to get in your apartment. So this will always work at either door, same code. This is your personal code. So this is the one that they say they don't, it says door codes are uniquely generated for you and should be kept secret. So this is not something you'd want to share, but you're not going to be able to stop your residents from sharing their personal door code.
Right.
If it's easier for them and they don't feel like sharing, creating a new door code for a guest, they might give this out, but the only way you'll know is through the access tab. You'll see who had access and it might not be the person that it says they are.
Got it.
So if we type this in, so the door is unlocked. You heard it click. It's unlocked here. For 5 seconds, it'll stay unlocked. Now it's locked again.
Let me try mine.
Let's move this post here and let's see if it actually works.
Yep. I'll shut it and you can keep trying it. Make sure the door.
Is it locked?
Make sure it's locked.
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
Alright, so that's one way to get in with your door code. You can always find it with under that menu and hit door codes. So your next option when your phone's open like this, you open the app. It says hold near to unlock. So this is your second way. You can just
That's my first way.
Simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's way easier than putting your code in.
Yeah.
So then you have another option which is not used much, but it works from a little bit of a further distance. So say you're like carrying groceries or something and you're right at the curb and you want to hit the button, you can hit unlock. Same thing. So you have 3 ways to unlock your door from your app.
Cool.
Now, this also I put it on my phone as a widget just so you can see. It's on my main screen here. You can hit secondary entrance. It opens the app, but it's easier than actually going and finding your app and opening it. It's right on your main screen.
Real quick, do I have to have my phone opened and turned on?
Yeah, it's not. So if you have, do you have iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, that won't work then. So
But then if I do
Android.
this, I have
Yes.
it on.
Yes.
It goes. Okay.
Android has NFC. iPhone does not offer NFC, and there's no talks of iPhone and
What's
having
NFC?
it in the future. NFC is near field communication.
Okay.
So what NFC does is there's information on the packet that I have sent to both of you, the PDFs, about how an Android user can use NFC. It tells them how to set it up. With NFC, they don't have to open their phone or anything.
Oh, so
they
they'll
can
just-
just do that
they'll just
with
walk
NFC.
up to it
But that's
and
only
bam, it'll
for
open up.
Android.
Okay.
Okay, so iPhone just doesn't have NFC.
Sorry, y'all.
Wow.
Do you have Android?
Android, yep.
Point for Android.
Well, at least one.
So,
Yeah.
but you can add it to your watch too. I don't have it set up on my watch, but I could just do that. And it
Is
would
that an
work.
Apple Watch?
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
so it works
I
on
have-
Apple Watch,
yes.
just not iPhone.
Yes, so
Interesting.
it works. Well, no, you have to still select the latch button on your
okay.
watch.
Okay.
But so this is set to auto login right now. I would imagine this door's going to be locked, so this
Mm-hmm.
really shouldn't be an issue. It's always going to look like this. This is missing 3 boxes because you're 3 channels shy of having it full. So you can add 3 cameras basically.
Okay.
You can double click on these boxes and it'll give you a wide picture. You can use the mouse.
Yeah, let's see who's gonna come out of that potty there. Let's see if they, use the hand sanitizer.
So you
Looks
double
like they've
click.
been stuck in there, get the doors open.
So you can double click on anything and then you just double click to go back. Just back to your main menu.
Okay.
This does not have a keyboard. This is not a real computer where it's like a DVR. I don't know if you
Yep,
have any of that. So you only have your mouse.
Got it.
So the bottom, if you hover, is where your menu is.
Yep.
Anything red is currently recording. Anything gray has no motion. This is recording on motion. This is not 24/7 recording. So whatever movement you're getting is why there's red. This might just be reflections from the light or something of that sort. So from here, there's just a button that says playback. If we click on that, this is pretty simple. So if there's gray, that's normal because that just means the time we're selected on doesn't have recordings because there's not recordings at all times of the day. So right now, the time that we're selected on, these are the cameras that have recordings. So if you have a specific camera that you want to look at, let's say we want to look at
Let's see what Ben's doing over there by the garbage can.
the alley.
Yep,
Okay.
I see you, Ben.
So we double click on the camera we want footage from. We go down to the bottom menu here. On the bottom left is the calendar. You can select this. Anything that's blue has been recordings. They have to put specific electrical outlet here because as you can see we're running off of, oh they did put it in. Huh. That's new as of yesterday.
Nice.
So what was happening before is it was running through the extension cord and the breaker was getting tripped, so that's why we lost footage for a few days because
Got
we
it.
didn't know the power was out. But now we're dedicated, so we're good.
Good.
Anything blue has recordings, anything gray does not. So if we go back, I think if we go back, we have recordings all the way to August 12th because that's probably the day we installed it.
Yep.
So once we select on one of these times, we can hit the play button here. I'm sorry, it's on play. You got a pause button here. It's currently playing right now. You're just not seeing a whole lot. If you want to, you can fast forward. You got the 1X here. You can fast forward
Got it.
2,
So
3, 4 times.
another question is how long of a memory does this thing have? How far back
you
does
should
it?
get like almost up to 3 months or so.
3 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're seeing it's choppy because we're in 4 times speed.
Yeah,
but
that's fine. It's
if we
still clear.
slowed down, you would catch that in real time.
Still 4K in my opinion,
Oh yeah.
or at least high quality HD.
Yep. So you see somebody walking out. So this is 8:15 at 6:40 p.m.
Got it.
And then if you double click, you're going back to all the cameras.
Of that day, or is this
You're
just
still on. We're still on that day.
Okay.
We're still on that time actually.
Yeah.
So if you had an incident and you didn't know what camera it's on, you could watch this screen and you could kind of see the person move throughout the cameras.
got it?
So like if they were walking along the street, you'd catch them here. and then you catch them. Maybe if they turn the corner, you catch them there. So you could watch that. You could watch all of them at one time. Now, when you're on this screen and you see the blue lines, this is all recordings from all the cameras, essentially. But at this specific time, only these cameras have movement. If you hit the eyeball here, that goes back to live view. And that's honestly pretty much all there is to this particular system.
Nice. So that's it for this week's episode of Flux City Weekly. Really appreciate you chiming in, listening to me ramble. As you can see, this is really just a fraction of what transpired this week. And I'm trying my best at capturing certain aspects of it to just kind of give you an opportunity to understand just how much a developer has to manage and do throughout their day-to-days, and hopefully giving you an opportunity to really see a little bit more of a mid-level day in the life or week in the life of a developer such as myself. And so we got a lot more content to share throughout the weeks here, and I just appreciate you chiming in. But if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you next week.